What's up, DOA fans, Dead or Alive fans, fighting game fans, 3D fighting game fans? Um, well, it seems like I'm here with another rant video about Koei Tecmo, but this time I think I may have realized something much more devious in how they market their free to play version and their regular version. And what I'm seeing from these prices, actually the character keys specifically, I'm starting to think that they really don't want you to actually buy the $40 version of the game, because they want you to buy that free version and buy at least 5 characters, which once you see the price that alone goes up to, you're gonna be like, no way, how is that? That's how they get you. Just keep in mind, 24 characters are $7.99. That's the regular, that's the regular DOA cast, not from the other games like My, 𝘒𝘰𝘦𝘪, they 10.99 both. But look, let's go over here real quick, right? So, of course, when I first seen this, like, I was kind of already out of it when it was confirmed that Koei Tecmo said there wasn't gonna be no rollback netcode in the game and no crossplay. So it kind of took me out of it before I even got to this part where they showed who you can play in the free version, which I wasn't really even going to be interested in, because if they had went the effort and actually, put in rollback netcode and crossplay, I would have bought the $40 game with everything in it, because I'm serious about fighting games, and I feel like they knew that too, because that's how most real competitive players are. If they really want to play something, if they got everything you need, the fundamentals to work right, to work properly, as long as there's not too lag bad on game, they can have good matches. That's good enough to buy a well-made fighting game like Dead or Alive, right? But that's what I'm thinking. Like, that's how I know, like, they really showing that it wasn't for us, because they don't want us to buy that version. They want us to buy the free version. I'm gonna show you why. Let's go over to this other page real quick. Give me a minute here. Let's go to Steam. Okay. All right, here we are on the Steam page. Okay, now see, it's still mostly negative, right? For obvious reasons. But let's go down here, okay? Okay, so you see, yes, you have the free version, the last round, core fighters, core values. Very enticing, because, oh, who doesn't like anything free, right? But let me tell you something. Personal experience, ain't nothing in this world free. And you see right here, buy Dead or Alive, 6 last round, $40, right? Now, what's sad about this price is that VF5 Revo, the base default version, is $20. And you're gonna say, oh, it's because it's at a really old game at its core, but it has what this game does not: rollback netcode, crossplay. Let's focus on the core values and more on the combat. You know what I'm saying? Just saying. Like I said, I like pretty women just as much as the next man, but when it comes to fighting, that's why typically most people choose men in these fighting games, so it won't be distracting, right? You don't want to get distracted while you're in a serious fight. You know what I'm saying? And men usually are more tough, but girls are very adept as well. But like, look at this though. Look at this. All this deals. Yeah, y'all are familiar with this, but I'm just like, look at these character keys though, specifically, right? Like 𝘒𝘰𝘦𝘪, $10.99, right? Unlock 𝘒𝘰𝘦𝘪 as a playable character in Dead or Alive 6 last round and Dead or Alive 6 last round core fighter. So this is for both. So she specifically, yes, she's not. I think she's from another game. I'm not sure, but she's not in the base game. You got to buy her, so she's for both. That's why she costs more, $10.99. She's probably licensed. I got to see more about her, but yeah, she's $10.99, and that's, you could unlock her in both the free version and this $40 version. Okay, so that's $10.99 right there. Okay, then we go to My Shiran, who is also from I forgot which game she's from, another fighting game or something. I don't really pay attention to women like this. They too scantily beautiful, but too scantily clothing. But yeah, lock her as well in Dead or Alive 6 last round, and last round core fighter. So the free version and the main version, well, so you got to buy her for either version. So she costs a little bit more. Makes sense. That's $10.99. That's already $21.98 right there. Okay, now we going down to you know, the base deal grade roster is some, you know, rework, but they got a lot of characters, right? So you got Zack, $7.99. Okay, you got Tina, $7.99. Zhongli, $7.99. Ryu Hayabusa, $7.99. Helena, $7.99. Baz, Kokoro, Hayate, Li Fang, Ayane, Elliot, La Mariposa, Brad Wong, Christy, Hitome, Bayman, Rig, Miller, Neo Tengu, which is a really cool boss in Dead or Alive 2 Ultimate. I wish they kind of kept something like that in Dead or Alive 3, because Dead or Alive 3, man, Genrei, he is unfair in the worst ways. Neo Tengu, Rydell, Diego, Phase 4, Momoji, Rachel, Tamaki. Of course, you got the story unlock key and all that, but the story is not that story is it's not to be taken seriously. But okay, you see all these $7.99.99s. Now, of course, by themselves, right? They look, you know, don't look too bad. But you see, last round core fighters. These characters are only for the free version. They are in the base version, right? All of these characters here, $7.99, are all in the base default version. So you can get them for just paying for what? The $40. What if I told you that just 5 of these characters, these 79 characters, equals the price of this, $39.99? Don't believe me? Well, let's go here. Let's pull this up. Okay, so all right, so you see this, right? I got them in alphabetical order here. So $7.99, see $7.99, $7.99, $7.99, $7.99, all $7.99 except my, and you know, Cooler right here. Okay, and as you see right here, the total price of all these characters is $213.74. Literally, if you just go $7.99, multiply 24 characters, right? Minus the 2, that's $10.99, which is Cooler and my Shiranu. Just the 24 characters. You multiply that times 7.99, and yeah, you're gonna get $191.76. And then you add Cooler and my, and you know, 21.98 cents, and it adds it to this. So obviously they don't. You can clearly see that they don't want you to buy that. If 5 characters already is going to make the price of it, then the people who are buying the free version, if they buy at least 5 characters, then they already made more money off of them, because they just got the free version and they bought all those characters. Where if they bought the regular version, they get all those characters that they would have most likely spent way more on. Like, that's literally over $200 for just character unlock keys. Like, what other game has done this in that way? That's what I'm saying. Like, this free version is not free. It's not free. It's to get you. And then, of course, think about it, right? This is for the competitive players, right? If there was rollback netcode and crossplay, we would have bought it. We would have bought this full version. We wouldn't have. The reason why some people feel entitled to play the free version in terms of competitive players, because they want to see if the netcode hold up a little bit, you know, just for them to try it and shit like that. But think about that, right? You only get to play as 4 girls. That's another thing. You only get to play as 4 girls. Kasumi, Marie Rose, Hanuka, and Nico. Now, I don't have nothing against playing with females. I love playing as females. Virtua Fighter, females are really my favorite. They're just so fast and agile, but the men kick ass too. But, okay, Kasumi makes sense. She is iconic as hell. You know, she is the franchise, right? But you want to know another person that is kind of iconic, really, even though he's from another game, from Ninja Gaiden? Ryu Hayabusa. In Dead or Alive 7, that trailer, who did they show going at each other? Who was the matchup? Kasumi and Ryu Hayabusa, right? So I find it kind of very peculiar that he's not available to be played in the free version. Yet you got four girls though. Why is it not at least one man to play as? Because they know, Koei Tecmo knows that especially somebody like me who wants to like to play a lot of different characters. You know what I'm saying? You see everybody playing Ryu, you see everybody playing Hayate and all the, you know, the men, and they really strong and do some really cool stuff. if it's only 4 girls, you're playing as 4 girls specifically, then it's obviously gonna make you want to try a man, right? You're gonna want to try something different like that. You're gonna want to do that. So yeah, man, is it not obvious that this is how they're gonna get you with this free version? That's how they get you, bro. Like, no, bro. Like they need to. And I feel like if they would have put rollback neck on cross, they would have made this shit like $60, probably 70. Dead or Alive 7. Man, come on, bro. Like, are you gonna do this for Dead or Alive 7 too? Like, is that really what you want? If that is that really what you're gonna go to? Like, I just don't get that, bro. Like, bro, tell me I'm not the only one that just see how obvious this is. And then at Evo, right? I watched fellow content creator stream, right? And I was hoping that, they would address it. Somebody would apologize. There would be somebody there, real, somebody from the team. And there was no one. They literally, they showed the gameplay, the high-level gameplay, which always looks good, obviously. But then they're going to have a man read the note that one of the developers, guest publishers just left him, a soulless note that they probably fabricated in just a couple minutes or something like that, sad to say. But nobody could even take the time to be there for your own game that you supposedly care about so much. Like, and it's just like, bro, I have in the past, there's games that, yes, that I have really passed up because of really, really, really extremely scummy things that was obviously shown, and I just couldn't go with it. But it's also like in some games, I know like Sega does do this with some games where they like make certain shit extra controversial to get more sales. But at the main scope of it, they do have integrity. Is they do these certain things for certain games that I don't like. And Yakuza Kiwami 3 was one of those things. They did something, had occurred in there, a villain doing something vulgar in real life. But it's just like, you can possibly get to beat the man up in the game, and he's not somebody you play as. He's not a friend. So it's just like, how much are you going to restrain yourself because of somebody in real life doing something like that? Maybe a minute mistake, or maybe not. But it's just like, it's not like if I was playing as that character and they did something, I would not do that because that's different. It's just like when it's a main character that I'm playing in an RPG game, right? I tend to like to really resonate with them, understand them. I can't understand somebody that's doing some heinous shit, that I wouldn't do in real life that I don't think is good. So I can't really get behind them in that way of, really believing in them because they doing bad stuff in real life. Like, how am I gonna take your character seriously? I know that's probably taking out too far the scope, but I just man. This is just blatantly greedy. It's just like, bro, I'll speak up when any company do. It don't matter who you are, Sega, Capcom. If they do something scummy like that's blatantly scummy and they don't give you enough back for what they doing, like I will not go for that. No, I don't care where it happens. Like I have integrity, so I am gonna speak up and say something if I see something. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to. Like, it didn't somebody else get tricked because of this, and then you could have said something and didn't. No matter if you got a big platform or not, I feel like if something is wrong, you should speak out on it genuinely. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's because you don't want people to be scared to speak their minds no matter what. But yeah, man, I just wanted to give y'all that. Make it that what y'all will, but it definitely seems obvious what they doing. Like, I don't even want to, even though I was watching some very nice gameplay of it, because I do love the gameplay and shit like that. I just don't love the practices they doing. Like, I was never enticed to play the free version because, number one, I know it's not free. As you just see, it's not really free. That's how they get your ass. That free moniker, it looks so shiny, like a shiny red button. Nah, but and just also like, if the publishers, developers are showing that they don't care about it, I cannot just play it and not feel bad. Like, that's just hypocrisy. You feel me? I cannot enjoy something that they are blatantly showing they don't care about it. Like, that's just nah, man. Because if it was my game, if it was under me, I'm gonna treat it with the best care, like I treat my content. But yeah, I don't know. It's definitely sad. Like, I really, really, and the fact that even they didn't even, that paper, that note literally didn't say anything really about Dead or Alive 7. Like, why can't you just confirm it's gonna have rollback netcode and crossplay just to alleviate our minds? Why are you playing this gambling dangerous game? Like, I don't. Get that. But if you let it come out like that, that's on you, man. Virtual Crossroads gonna step all over you. VF5 already stepping over 6 for real, for real. But if you don't get your shit together, Koei Tecmo, I'm telling you, man, Dead or Alive 7 will be that final nail in the coffin. You won't be able to recover. But anyway, I'll catch y'all later, man. The full